Good morning, Three's friends. It's Wednesday, May the 6th. I loved Mr. Dietrich's lesson about sound yesterday. I'm excited to see what kind of projects you guys can come up with on your own this week, but I wanted to show you a project that you and your parents can do to make another kind of instrument using materials around the house. All right, so we're going to try to make a ukulele or guitar out of juice container or a milk container or various other things. I'll tell you about some of the other things you can use later, but I'm going to turn around and adjust my camera. Give me just a second to get it set up and then we'll get going. All right, that looks pretty good. Here are the basic things we're going to need. A milk or juice carton, paper towel roll, toilet paper roll, rubber bands, and 2 pencils. You can also use one of these. These would actually probably be a little bit easier to cut through to prepare, but unfortunately I didn't have one empty right now. But what I did have was this. You can also adapt this using a tissue paper box, would work really well, and it already has a nice hole in it. Get creative, other kinds of boxes you might have, shoe boxes you could use, different things like that, but it's all basically the same idea. Mom and Dad are going to have to help quite a bit at the beginning of this. We're going to need to do some cuts and some glue and some detail stuff. Where you guys are really going to be able to help with this is getting things ready, helping Mom and Dad hand them the things that they ask for, just being there to help out. Once everything is dried and glued, then you will be able to do decorations. All kinds of decorations on it, whatever you want to do. But let's go ahead and get started with the things that we're all going to need to participate in. Mom and Dad and everybody included. First step is going to be take our paper towel tube, set it on here. Hopefully it's fairly round and not too squished already. On most cartons, a Sharpie will work really well. On this one, this is a very slick surface, so on this one I ended up having to use a ballpoint pen and it got into it a little bit better. But you're gonna draw a circle around, trace that around. I'll go ahead and do it with my Sharpie and you can see how it only sort of works on this. Even a sharp pencil would work probably better on this kind of surface. So that gives you the idea. You can kind of fill it in, make it a little more round. Then we do the same thing on the flat bottom. Now I've already done that one, obviously, but trace the circle with your Sharpie and then cut both the bottom out and cut the top out, or the side rather. If you can do it with scissors, that would be awesome. If you're using something a little less sturdy than this, scissors are probably going to work great. So with the tissue paper box or the broth box, things like that. For this one, it's really tough, especially on the bottom. You might be able to get the scissors. I ended up using just an X-Acto knife to just poke in, follow around. Be very careful with that. Watch your hands. Mom and Dad also. We don't want anybody to get hurt doing a fun project. So cut out the side and the bottom. Again, I've kind of got started on this already. So you're going to end up something like that. After you do that, you're going to take your toilet paper roll, cut it about 4 times around here so that you can squish up the sides a little bit, because we're going to take this and insert it, not the cut end, the other end, into the bottom of the carton. Push it all the way down to the very end until it stops. At that point, you can leave it as it is, If you want to make things a little bit more permanent, take whatever kind of glue you want to do, run some glue around the edge here, just to keep it a little bit more firm. Now we're going to take those cuts that we made on the side and push them in a little bit. Just scrunch them in some. Take our toilet paper tube. You may recognize this one. This one I used for demonstration for our elephant mask. Scrunch it up and insert it down here. That's just to make it a little bit longer, make it look a little bit more like a real ukulele or guitar. Now, this neck piece is not actually going to be doing anything for the instrument that you're making. So it's just for decoration. What you can do, if you would like it to continue to look a little bit more like a guitar, we're going to use 4 rubber bands on ours, so you can just come up to the side, poke some thumbtacks in. This is just to make it look a little bit more authentic. These aren't actually going to be attached to our rubber bands, but they make it look pretty neat. And one more. There, maybe. Okay, now we got it. All right, so that's basically it. After you give this some good time to dry here, right now is when you guys get to go crazy and decorate it however you want. If you want to use paint, you want to use acrylic paint, because this slick surface, if you use tempera paint or others that are a little easier to clean, they will actually flake off the slick surface here. So acrylic's going to be best for that. Or you can take paper, tissue paper, construction paper, any other kind of paper, and glue it on to make patterns. You know, maybe triangles here or circles out around, anything you want to do to decorate it. I'm not going to decorate this one today. I'm just going to show you the basics of how we're going to do this. So once everything's dried from decorating it, painting it, gluing stuff on, you're going to come back with Mom and Dad and put the strings on. So for this one, we're going to do 4. Ukuleles have 4 strings, guitars have 6. I found with this one, 6 rubber bands was just a few too many, so I'm going to stick with 4. And it's pretty simple. Give it a good stretch. Get help, get adult help with this one again, because it could snap loose and hit you or knock something over. I actually just lost that one a little bit. So definitely get Mom and Dad to help with this. But what we're going to do is put it over close to the neck, to the tubes, and stretch it all the way down around the bottom. And just get one. We're going to do 2 above and 2 below. And we just want to get them on right now. We'll go and line them back up once we've got them all on. So that's 1 at the top. Here's 2 at the top. Make sure it's pulled all the way around on the back also. Again, we're going to line these up after we get them all on, because we don't want them to crisscross. It's going to change how it works. Now we're going to do 2 on the bottom. That's 1. Oop, drop the rubber band. Here we go. Here's 2. Oop. And that's why you got to definitely be careful with this. Get Mom and Dad to help. Don't want anybody to get snapped or pinched. Alright, so we've got all 4 on there, and now we're going to kind of line them up. So we want the middle 2 to be over the hole. And these outside 2 are definitely going to be closer than that. Just line them up kind of like this. If it gets twisted up, that's not a big deal. It won't really change it at this point. All right, so that's the basics. Now we use our two pencils. Take one pencil, kind of push the carton down, get it up under here. This one we're going to keep flat, and we're just going to pull it all the way to the back. Or not flat, we're going to keep it perpendicular to the box. The second one, once we put it in, we're going to do that one at a little bit of an angle. So we're going to push it up to here, and then turn it at a little bit of an angle. So what that's going to do is it lifts the rubber bands off the box top so they can vibrate more, because remember, sound is made from vibration. And having it at an angle means that each one of them is a different length, so it's going to give it a different note, a different tone. And you can play with it as you go. You can pull it down here, you can flatten it a little bit more. I'm going to keep mine just about like that, and then we go. And depending on the rubber band, you're going to have some, like these top two, kind of sound closer to the same note, so maybe we can angle it a little bit more. Or you can try a different rubber band. The thicker the rubber band, the deeper the note you're going to have also. And there you have a ukulele, guitar. Ukulele in this case because I did 4 strings, but you could do a guitar made out of all scraps from around the house. So I hope you guys have fun looking around, finding ways to make music, and coming up with some ideas of your own. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.